everybody, Ellen here. Today I come to you guys to talk about all of these series I finished during 2019. I ended up finishing 10 series, which is definitely not as many as I wanted to finish, but I did finish a lot of them in like the last 3 months, so it's fine. But the first series I finished was Legion by Brandon Sanderson. This is a very weird sort of series about a man that has sort of hallucinations about a lot of very lifelike people, and it's really weird, really freaky at some points, but still very entertaining, and I did enjoy reading it. I also finished the Summer series by Taran Matharu. Love this series a lot more than I thought I would. I ended up reading this entire trilogy this year, which does not happen very often because, well, I read all of these books in just a few months. And I'm not really good at reading series, apparently, which we all know by now. But this is a very magical sort of series with like magic school and demons and different like races, sort of elves and dwarves and humans and orcs and stuff like that. Really love this series. I really kind of want to reread it actually. But yeah, definitely a very good series. We also have a duology called Royals by Rachel Hawkins. These are 2 different novels about royalty in Scotland. Really enjoyed the characters and the settings and the sort of private school, boarding school kind of vibe, and it was really enjoyable. I also loved the trope with royals, as you know, so it was fun read. And then I also read They by Sarah Bear McElfkin and Carl Dunson. This is a graphic novel duology about mythology, which you guys know I do love. It's actually Norse mythology in this series, and I really enjoyed the first book because it was very action-packed and I liked the main character, Vey, and everything like that. The second volume that I ended up reading this year was actually kind of a disappointment. I feel like it didn't have a lot of plot, and it was more about who had sex with who, really done any kind of magical endeavors. But yeah, overall, pretty solid series. And then I also finished the Firebird trilogy by Claudia Gray. I have had like a year and a half in between each and every book of this series, and it's driving me nuts because I do really enjoy this series so much. And I finally read the 3rd and final book of the series this year. I loved it, as I know I would, so I really know I've been doing it all this time. This is just about, you know, using firebirds, being able to come into a different dimension and find out what kind of life you could have lived if you lived in that dimension, because you go into another self in that dimension. It's really tricky to explain, but it's so cool, really awesome, and I really love the different dimensions. And I don't really know how she come up with so different alternative like worlds. It's really cool. So yeah, love that one. And then I also finished a children's trilogy, which was Monstret Frank by Sofie Falkam and Mats Strandberg. Mats Strandberg happens to be one of my favorite Swedish authors, so of course I need to read this one as well. Really cute children's stories with a lot of illustrations, pretty much just about being different from other people and just trying to fit in, because Frank turns out into a monster after he's being bitten by the neighbor's dog, and he turns into a monster that pretty much scares the entire town, even though he's like the sweetest monster ever. And it's just about trying to fit in, trying to stay hidden from the humans, and it was really cute, and I did enjoy it a lot. Then I read another graphic novel trilogy, and this is The Witch Boy by Molly Knox Ostertag. A really solid series about a boy that wants to be a witch, even though all of the males in his family are actually shapeshifters. And Astor tries, the main character, tries to learn magic on his own by sneaking into the girls' lessons and everything like that. And it's just a really beautiful, funny story about, you know, being able to do whatever you want and not being locked down into a certain profession, if you will, just because of your sex. Really enjoyed the trilogy. I felt like the 3rd one fell a bit short for me though, but overall I really enjoyed it. And then I also finished the Arc of a Scythe trilogy by Neil Shusterman. This is probably one of the most, I would say, finished series of this year, because everybody's been looking forward to reading The Toll this year. But it was a really fun conclusion, and I mean, this is such a interesting concept of not being able to die of disease or age or anything like that, and the sort of scythes that are kind of sort of like assassins, but you know, it's legal. It's a really cool concept. I still think that the The Thunderhead is my favorite because that ended with a bang, but the third book was definitely a very solid book in the series as well. And then I also finished a manga series, and that was Orange by Ishigo Takano, and really enjoyed this one. Very dark theme to say the least, because there's about teenagers trying to save a classmate from, you know, dying, suicide. There's really dark matters in this one, and also a little bit problematic because pretty much hangs on to the teenagers to stop him from killing himself, which is not okay to just put that on a different individual. But at the same time, they had really great friendship, and we just really wanted to have him in their life, and it was really pretty at the same time. So I did enjoy that one. And then the 10th and the last series I finished was The Land of Stars by Chris Colfer, and I've been reading this series for like I think 2 years or something like that now, and I loved every single book in the series. It's so magical. But we meet Alex and Connor, and they get sucked into this magical book that they got from their grandmother, and they turn up in the Land of Stories, where they meet different sort of fairy tales come to life, like Cinderella, Little Red Riding Hood, Sleeping Beauty, and everything like that. And it's just so magical, and it's just so fun to get Chris Colfer's interpretation of these characters, because they're all really, at least I would say Little Red Riding Hood, she's definitely has a big personality and everybody knows it. But yeah, a really fun series, and I'm definitely going to pick up Chris Colfer's other new books in the same universe, so that would be great. But yeah, those were the 10 series I actually finished this year. I was so close to finishing White Sand trilogy this year. I had like half of that graphic novel left. I had also half of Supernova by Marissa Meyer left, so I was so close to getting it to 12, but we'll just have to live and endure. But yeah, I'm really happy about 10 solid series finished. So yeah, if you have read any of these series, please let me know down below what you thought about them without spoiling, or let me know what series you finished during 2019. Did you finish anyone? And yeah, if you like this video, please don't forget to give me some thumbs up, and also don't forget to subscribe to my channel by clicking the little button down below. And yeah, I hope we see each other in the next one. Bye!